We fell down a bloody hole, instantly finding ourselves in a lovely ancient chapel, and the residents are not so happy to see us, so they decide to come charging at us without saying how do you do, offering us a nice cup of tea, and holy shit, they're firing arrows at us. And I think I spy a barrel of oil, so when they're nearby, I'm just gonna blast that up with a firebolt. Alright, you got it? Alright, let's... The fight happens as much as to be expected. We got our asses handed to us. After looking around and collecting all the good tasty pieces of loot, including every single book in the library that we found in one of the corners, all the food is good, we need it for our supposed camp, which I've yet to go and check out. I noticed a button on the wall that looked like a skull. As every dungeon dwelling adventurer knows how to do, you press the button as fast as possible. Thankfully, nothing exploded, hearing a door creaking open somewhere deep down in the dungeon. So every sane adventurer knows what happens next. We just walk towards the sound, explore, and end up in a dank crypt, to be specific. Astarion was our selected short straw holder, so we sent him in the first door that opened that looked slightly suspicious. And thank God we did, because he noticed there were traps everywhere, there was bleeding, firebolts, oil on the ground, and a lot of sarcophagi. And as every adventurer that loves loot, I told Astarion, please, can you just take everything out of each and every sarcophagus? Smart, he left the last big one for last, because it was the last big one. And as he did, oil started coming out of the ground and fireballs started blowing. He ran, hopped, and skippity skipped his way back to us, and then I stood a second not looking at the fireballs and explosions while we decided to use the key he found, the metal coin, which he was not very about it being metal as he prefers gold, and we entered the remainder of the crypt. Here we found a bunch of dead scribes, monks, clerics, which we've very, very hastily relieved them of all their remaining possessions. They're dead, they don't need them. We opened the door and found a really strange book that emitted a lot of magic. After speaking with my god a little bit and trying to figure out what it was, we did realize it was a book of dead gods, of old forgotten gods. As well as this, we noticed there was a giant statue in the middle of all of this, the statue to Jergol, who is the scribe of the dead. Which starts to make sense because we also found a book earlier on where it basically had the names of people, how they died and when they died. So I was getting mightily suspicious and I kind of wanted to get the entire team out. You know, it's always good to look in every single corner, and thank God we did. We found a button which we pressed. Since nothing happened earlier, I didn't expect anything to happen. Just my luck something did, as all the dead scribes came back to life. Luckily for them, they had no weapons, no armor, no spell scrolls on them, because I stole every single little bit they had, and we managed to beat their asses back to the Stone Age. There was another giant sarcophagus that the moment we touched, a talking skeleton with a lovely, lovely, lovely penchant of speaking in a strange manner came outside. We had a little lovely chat, and he asked me what is the value of a mortal soul. Very strange question to ask a cleric. Gave him the first thing that popped to my mind, found an amulet, and we just walked out. He went his way, we went our way. Nothing strange. All I know is, in every story, ignore the undead lich that comes out of the sarcophagus and starts speaking to you. Just act normal and walk away. Which we did. We walked away, kept exploring up the road, just to come across a bunch of morons. Oh, man. So, when someone says form a line, and you see them not forming a line, you know you're in deep. When someone says, I am being chased by goblins, please let me through your gate, and the person behind the gate tells him, no, because then the goblins will burn down the gate, what the hell is the point of having a gate anyway? This is where we decided to relieve the goblins of their souls, and we massacred the entire party. We met a really strange guy who had a lovely, overtop way of speaking about life, the universe, and everything else, and a very much bit of inflated ego. Honestly, it felt suffocating. Managed to save the 3 people outside who don't know what a line is. Perhaps we can teach it to them, as well as gain entrance to this place. I wonder what it is.